Hi, I'm Karthi from 22MIS1181. This is my project for Java assignment, a full stack complaint management portal for college. First, I'll walk you through the live application to show you how it works from the perspective of student, department head, and admin. Then we'll look into the Spring Boot backend. First, here I have the student credentials right now. Now I'll log in as a student. Now you can see the complaint raised by a student previously along with the status tracking. Now let's say I want to register a new complaint. Let's say a complaint for the department is let's say mess and water quality. Let's say drinking water is being contaminated. Okay. So, likewise, I'm registering the complaint here. Once the complaint is registered, the student can view the complaints in the complaint dashboard with along with the status. Now we'll go into the respective department. Wise. So, mess department. Now we can see the complaint raised by the students on here. First, the complaint raised by students day by day. For each day, how many complaints has been raised, and here the status of overall the complaints. How many complaints has been submitted? How many complaints has been in progress? How many has been in completed phase, and how many is in rejected phase? Now here, let's say. The department head views this complaint and let's say he wants to he talk to the mess staff and so the complaint changes the status of the complaint to in progress. Then suddenly status of the complaint has been changed. Next, the after speaking to the mess staff, the complaint has been sorted out. Then the status of the complaint goes to completed. Sometimes student might raise a complaint that is unnecessary or unwanted complaints. That in that time, the department staff, department head will look into the complaint and check whether it is a valid complaint or not. If it is not a valid complaint, then he will reject the complaint. So this is how the department portal works. Now we'll go to the look into the what admin portal how it looks. In the admin portal, let's in the admin portal, these are the complaints raised. It shows that how many complaints has been raised on each department, CSE, ECE, IT, and what are the status of those complaints on those departments, like how many has been in progress, how many has been completed, how many has been submitted. Likewise, these are the status of those complaints in each department wise, along with when it has been submitted, like that. So this is this is a part from the UI perspective. Now we'll look into the backend perspective. Now you are seeing the application in action. Let's look into the backend work. Here, the backend is built in the Spring Boot and it follows model view architecture. Let Now I'll show you the complaint model. This model represents our data. The complaint.java class is a simple Java object which feels like a department, description, and status. Using the entity annotation, it is mapped directly to the complaints table in our MySQL database. The users.java, here you can see the users.java class does the same for the users data. I can show you here the users complaint table, and here the complaint table. If the complaint.java is directly mapped to the complaint table, and the users.java is directly mapped to the users table. Now we'll look into the service and controllers and repositories. So first, the complaint controller. When the front end needs data, it starts at the controller. My controller, complaint controller Java, marked with the annotation REST controller. It handles all the incoming web requests for request. For example, when the student dashboard loaded, the front end called the API complaint slash submit. See, API complaints and student endpoint. This endpoint is mapped with get mapping annotation and that directs that request to the get students complaints. Request to the get student complaint. Now, in the complaint service, the controller then calls this service layer. The complaint service.java marked with the @service method that contains the actual business logic. The get complaint for students. Here, the get complaint for students method is responsible for finding the logged in user and then fetching the correct complaints from the database. Then we look into the complaint repository. Finally, the service uses a repository. My complaint repository interface extends the JPA repository. This powerful feature of Spring Boot Data JPA provides all the necessary database operations like find all and find by student ID automatically without me having to write the SQL query. Now I will explain you how I use the dependency injection. Now we'll go to the complaint controller. A core principle of Spring is dependency injection. In my controller, I have a complaint service field. I never, if you notice, I never write new complaint service. Instead, the constructor is marked with auto wired. When the application starts, Spring automatically creates the complaint service object and injects it into the controller. This keeps my code clean, decoupled, and easy to test. Now I'll explain how I use the bootstrapping. Now we go to demo application. Yeah. So the Spring at this here you can see @Spring Boot application annotation at the top of this. It enables auto configuration and scans my project to find all the components like controllers and services. The main method then uses Spring application.run to start the entire Spring framework and the built-in web server. With just these two elements, the entire backend is up and running. So, in conclusion, this project demonstrates a complete full stack application. It shows a real world workflow with distinct user roles and uses core Spring Boot concepts like MVC pattern, dependency injection, and bootstrapping to create a backend that is powerful, organized, and scalable. Thank you.